All right, y'all. So, anyway, I don't know if anybody's going to be jumping on here tonight or not, but I basically just want to get on here again and, try it out. This is a new mic here. I just got it in today off of Amazon. I don't remember what the brand is. It wasn't very expensive, but hopefully it'll work pretty well. And I like the boom mount here where you can move it in and out and around, and it's kind of out of your way because the other mic that I had and stuff is just kind of set on the desk or whatever, and it wasn't near as nice doing here. I really don't even remember if I've been on here since moving into this room here. I see two people on. Anyway, so this is my new, more or less makeshift studio. Should be upgrading it here in the future. Probably figuring out some different things to do. Definitely need to figure out some better lighting and stuff in here. But anyway, this was the nursery in here where the kids were. And now they've gotten a little bit bigger and all, and now everybody's upstairs in their own separate rooms, which one of those rooms up there was what I was using for the studio. So now moving everything down here, it's kind of a studio slash storage room, junk room here. But anyway, like I said, I figure I'd hop on here and hopefully get some feedback on how good the mic here works and everything. Hopefully it's not too bad. Again, I've got a light thing set up here where I got a little light, and I've got this lantern in the background and stuff. Need to figure out some better lighting and possibly a better webcam here in the future. That one there is not really expensive, but I guess it does pretty good, but it kind of like the background's a little more pixelated, I guess you would call it. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing good out there on Easter Monday here. What few minutes is left of it. But I don't even remember the last time I've live streamed, and I really hadn't made a lot of videos either on this channel. I do got some sinuses here I'm trying to get over. But anyway, I have made more videos along the way over on the login channel. Honestly, that's been taking up a lot of my time for the last couple of years here. Doing that, doing my trucking business is kind of hand in hand in with the logging there. And you see I got my plaque there that somebody made for me. I'll be coming up on 2 years of being in business with that. So that'll be my first business that I started. Coming up on 2 years in late June, early July, I think is when I started. Will be 2 years coming up here soon. A lot of ups and downs along that journey, and learning things, and getting things into place, getting the my feet up under me, the foundation, everything like that, and putting in way more hours than I used to with just normally working in the woods. Having a truck like that, having your own business, that's a full-time job there. And whether it be nights and weekends, holidays, whatever comes along, because not only do you gotta drive the truck and keep the wheels turning, you also gotta do the maintenance and the repairs and stuff like that. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to do most of that stuff myself. There is some things that I had a guy do. Well, a couple of people have helped me work on it. But anyway, so it was good to, I've known him for a long time as, I was younger and, just driving the truck for Pop and stuff. And he used to work at a shop and, work on the trucks and stuff. And, then he went somewhere else and then he came back and now he's running this shop. Himself, the older guy that run it, has passed on. So it was good to, I didn't know that he was, running it again and everything, but, he's been able to help me out a whole lot. Not only is he a good mechanic, he's a pretty good buddy too, so that's always a plus when you've got something like that going on. But anyway, if y'all are interested in the logging and trucking stuff, I've got more of that on the separate channel there. And NWA, how you doing, man? Yep, on the way to work. I hear you, man. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been, everything's been so crazy with work and, life and everything. I really hadn't done a lot on YouTube. And like I was saying earlier, you just popped in, but this is my new studio room here. I did have it upstairs. This was the nursery, but the kids have gotten bigger and moved upstairs and have their own separate rooms now. So I moved the stuff down here a while back, and just kind of threw it wherever. And now I'm working on trying to organize this stuff, move stuff in and out and make it more of a studio and everything. And hopefully I'll be able to get in here and do some more live streaming. I have missed it and, missed seeing and talking to everybody. I've kind of, lost touch with a lot of people here lately, but you know how it is. It just gets so busy. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I know you putting in a lot of hours over there too, still doing the things. But anyway, I appreciate NWA Prepper here, and I've been following him for a long time. He's been following me for a long time, and never met him in person or anything, just online here. But he's a real fine fella right there. So if anybody's on here and not following him, checking him out, you need to do that. He's on everything that I know of. He's on YouTube here and TikTok and Facebook, and I'm not sure what else, but if anybody hadn't checked him out, go check him out. But yeah, trying to get everything in place, and oh yeah, man, anytime. Trying to get everything in place here, and life's gone through a lot of changes in the past couple of years. Like I said, with getting my truck and starting my own business, and doing all this hard work to get all that going and everything. And it just seems like that life has been so chaotic over these past couple of years. It's just kind of basically like a blur, like everything just kind of runs together and everything. But hopefully I can be getting back more normal now. The last year or so has been crazy in the woods. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's been a lot of trouble with the markets and stuff, where during 2020 and the pandemic and the closures and everything like that, where most businesses shut down and felt that immediately, and stuff like that, where the logging kept going. We kept producing wood, and everything kept flowing up until last year. So 2 to 3 years down the road, that's when our industry really took the big, really felt all of the pandemic stuff, the shutdowns and all. And the last year's been tough on quotas. If you don't know about that, when you're logging and stuff, sometimes everything's wide open where you can haul as many loads as you can get out, and then there's other times where you have quotas where they limit you to, they tell you how many you can bring and where you can take them and stuff like that. So, if we're not a big producer. Some of these guys, they get, 100 loads a week, and some of them have, more than one crew that does that. There's a lot of them that are in the 40 to 60 load range, where we average about 15 to 20 to 25 loads if we're in good wood and all of the circumstances work out right. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, NWA. Yeah, I I like chainsaws. I'm not. I don't know. Not saying I'm not a professional, but not a professional teacher. There's a lot of people that know a lot more details. I know how to cut trees, but there's a lot of different people that are more instructors. I mean, they know a lot of different ways of cuts and how they can explain all the science and stuff like that. But I watch some of them on YouTube. They're pretty interesting and everything. But yeah, man, safety is a very big thing to do with the chainsaw. Definitely, if you're going to be messing around with one of them things, you need to keep, definitely, with our logging business here, for years it's been mandatory to have a, approved medical kit on the job site. But, going further than that, when you're actually out there, cutting, it's a good idea to have medical stuff on your person, tourniquets and, gauze and things like that. Yeah, man, it is funny. Hey, Tamara, how you doing? Popping in to say hi. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be on too long. Like I said earlier, I was just kind of getting everything set up. If I get in from work earlier tomorrow and things line up, I may be able to go on here live again a little bit earlier. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, with the chainsaw stuff, back in the winter here, couple months ago or so, I finally did get a felling belt, where you have the whole harness here, and it's got the pouch on the back for your axe and wedges and stuff, and it's got a medical pouch on that, belt system there too, so makes it easier to keep stuff with us. But over here in, our part of the world now, like I said, last year was a different year for us, but generally, yeah, man, I'll catch you later, NWA. I appreciate you popping in. But anyway, for our part of the world, what we normally do is mainly cutting, planted pine. A lot of it is thinning, where, a stand is cut off and planted back, and as it gets big enough, we go in and, thin it to help it grow better, take out some of the competition and bad trees and possibly infected trees and stuff like that. And, we'll do first thinning, second thinnings, and clear cuts and stuff, where last year, with the way the markets were up and down, we had to cut some mixed tracks where it had, original hardwood and, just whatever grew, wild, basically. A lot of those trees was probably 100 years old or, pretty close to it. So it was a lot of, hardwood, your oaks, white oaks, red oaks, chestnut oaks, hickory, maple, poplar, stuff like that, anything you can name. And we call spruce pine around here, but a lot of people call it Virginia pine. And some. Hey Jade, how you doing? And some of the older school black pine or loblolly pine, I think shortleaf pine. It's kind of all mixed together, so it was a big jumble, and it kind of made it difficult to cut because you had everything scattered everywhere. And the way it would work, this meal would be buying this week, and then they wouldn't be buying again for 2 weeks. Some of them went a month, so you would have to leave this, stand over here that you were cutting, go to a different part of the woods to cut these other trees that you can sell. So it made it difficult. And like I said, having those, big original hardwoods like that, a lot of that I did have to cut down with a chainsaw, and too big for the cutter to handle. So, we did more, chainsaw stuff this year than normal. But yeah, Jade, what I really like, my favorite thing to cut, personally, is those first thinning, second thinning pine stands. Usually you can actually make more money on clear cuts, and it's easier work on clear cuts. You can just go right there, like I said, normally, and just put a lot of trees on the ground pretty quick and get a lot more production that way. But I like doing the first thinning, second thinning, the management stuff, because it's just, something about it makes me feel good when you pull up to a lot of these spots. It's just, you can't see the forest for the trees, so to speak. It's a lot of brush and stuff growing up in it, and all the trees are crowded. And, when you get into those spots and you go through and, you cut your rows through, and then you go back and thin everything out, and you cut a lot. You cut, as much of that brush and small stuff, the competition, as you can. And, all of that's down and clean, and you can just look out there, and, the trees are all spaced out, like it was landscaped. That's really what I enjoy doing, just because I like, I like what I do, and I like doing a good job. And, there's a lot of places we cut. How you doing, South Florida, DCL? Good evening to you too. But there's a lot of places we cut where a landowner, or maybe they, inherited after somebody passed away or something. But anyway, they'll have, it's been cut over and it's grew up and it's ready to thin. And sometimes they're kind of on the fence about it, and, they want to get it done, but they're not really sure what to expect or what it's going to look like. And, we had one guy that, he said, don't take out, too many trees and, everything like that. But, after we went through there and did it, he was well pleased with it. So that, makes me feel good, stuff like that, when you can go in there and do a good job, especially when you can do better than expected. There's a lot of, loggers that get a bad name from not doing a good job, and, one bad apple can spoil the bunch and things like that. And, in our area, we have a lot of, pine thinning tracks to do. And, there's a handful of people around that does thinning like that. But, there's a lot of crews that don't want to fool with the extra. When you do a thinning, it takes more experience running a tree cutter than just going out clear cutting. So, they need a better experienced operator, and whether they don't have one, or, whatever the case may be, or, that's one hold up. And then another thing, a lot of these crews, they just like to turn those numbers, like I was saying, between, 30, 60, 80, maybe 100 loads a week. And you can do it thinning, but you have to have really big tracks. And a lot of times you'll need, 2 cutters and 3 or 4 skidders to, get that out. Because when you clear cut, you can just go right there and mow down a big patch of trees, and you get all of them up, you can move on down, put another load in ground, and doing things like that. and 1 a.m. preps. How you doing? Good to see you in here. But anyway, when you're doing, a clear cut versus a thinning, usually when the track is done, you'll get twice the volume clear cutting. Maybe a little bit better sometimes, but usually about twice the production out. Just for the fact of when you go in to thin, you're really only taking about 50% out. And, usually, when you're thinning, it's smaller pine, stuff like that, where, you go through 1 to 2 thinnings and down the road and you go back and clear cut. I mean, there'll be pine like that or so. So that adds up a whole lot more. The trees get bigger and they get taller, so you get more volume out of them. But like I said, I like doing the thinning just because, you can, especially when you second thin, you go through the first time and, lay down the groundwork, and then you come back, your rows are already in, your trees have grown better because they're spaced out, and then you go in and, fine tune it a little bit more. And like I said, you can, it looks like more of an open space since you're leaving bigger trees and, cutting down all of whatever brush has come back through there. And, instead of spacing like this, when you go back and second thin, you'll have more like this. And, if you can, if the land's, pretty flat, pretty decent shape, and you get all that brush cut down and out of the way, I mean, it just looks like a state park through there. And, anyway, that, that makes it kind of cool, I think, anyway. But that's all I've ever done since I was 17 was be out there in the woods working, so I don't really know any other way, so I guess it's a good thing I like it. But anyway, hope everybody's doing good out there and had a good Easter and everything. And like I said, hopefully I can get back more into this and making some videos. I really like doing the live streams more than anything. I always thought the live streams was pretty cool and pretty fun. But anyway, like I said, first time trying this mic out, and hopefully it works pretty good. And anyway, hopefully it'll pick the music up a little better. Thank you, Jade. I appreciate it. Yeah, South Florida. The longest that I can remember was about 23 hours, something like that. Almost a full day. With everything going on, I have been able to slow down a little bit here since we finished up that other track a couple months ago and got on this track of mainly just pine and closer to home, closer to the wood yards and stuff. So it's definitely took a big load off of me. But when we was working up there at the other track, basically, the whole year or so we was up there, my days was anywhere from 12 hours on a short day to 16, and 18 was pretty common, and sometimes 20, 22, 23, something, depends on the day. Like I said, I got my own truck there, and I haul for my dad too, and I also run the tree cutter, and I end up doing anything else that needs to be done, whether it's something that needs to be fixed, a hydraulic hose bust, or something needs to be welded, or a tire blowout, or anything that I know how to do. I always ended up having to do that, and a lot of times I was doing that in the night if something was messed up, trying to get it fixed, and so we could stay rolling the next day and everything. So it was a challenge, but we made it through it, so hopefully won't have to do all that stuff for a while, and everything will even out a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty used to 12 hours. That's not bad. But the only thing about it, when you're more or less working for yourself, you don't really get overtime like if you was working somewhere else, so I guess you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. A lot of the time, I know a few times I would have something break down, towards the evening, and then, working on it at night, and a lot of it, yeah, I appreciate that, Jay, but, a lot of the times was trying to go, find parts, get parts and stuff. Fortunately, it's a couple of truck places around here that will stay open to like 10 o'clock at night, usually, during the week. And so a lot of times I had to go do that stuff. I had a spring, the first time I broke a spring on my truck here, that was really at a crucial time. So I was trying to get that back going as fast as possible, and doing the work myself too, while at work. And I had to order the U-bolts and the spring and everything for it. And the spring was coming in one day, and then the U-bolts wasn't coming in until the next day. So I ended up, leaving early one morning, going up to the Peterbilt place. And I forgot, I think it was like the closest one was like 80 miles away from me. So it was a pretty good little ride down there, Alright, I don't know if I went off of your screen or what, but there was a screen just popped up here and kicked me out with some kind of computer update, so I hit no on that. So hopefully we're still rolling here. But anyway, like I said, I left, I think, probably about 3 o'clock that morning, so I could get up there when that place opened and grab those simple U-bolts and head on back and start turning wrenches on it. But anyway, we got that done. Appreciate it, Jade. But yeah, like I said, everything's been busy here, and now spring's getting here, the weather's getting nice, and getting ready to put in gardens and stuff. I got the land broke up, and still a little bit early to plant. Here still gets kind of cold, and got some frost, and got cold weather dip coming in here at the end of the week. So I probably really won't plant anything till 1st of May or last week of April, and get that stuff in the ground. We didn't have very good luck with the goats. If anybody remembers back when we had those, and all of them are phased out now, and Yeah, Jade, I love the warm weather. I hate the cold and winter and all that mess. But hey, Jennifer Cruz, how you doing? It has been a real long time. Uh, I've seen you on Facebook, but that's about it. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube. Yes, South Florida. Uh, I did do a lot of cutting and catching up at night with a tree cutter. I got a lot of lights on there. Put some LED lights on where I can see pretty good. And same way with the skidder, I put a big light bar on the front of that. And I had, we was behind on skidding, getting the wood up. So, I put lights on there where I can go ahead and roll with that pretty good. And the loader has lights on it. And there was, a lot of times that I was working at night. Yeah, hit the like. I appreciate it, Jennifer. But anyway, honestly, sometimes it's a little bit hard to work at night if if it's really really dark, or if you got a full moon night, you can just about see without the lights. But normally, I really like working at night like that. It's peaceful, and also especially when it's the winter is not so bad, but when it's summertime, you got those 90-degree days, man. Those machines just get so hot. And, it's definitely a lot easier on the machine, because I would say it probably runs 20 degrees cooler at night than it would during the day when it's so hot like that. And, one thing, everything is so enclosed in to protect all of the stuff from sticks and trees and stuff hitting and tearing stuff up, that it doesn't really get a lot of airflow through there, so it really holds that heat in, a lot. Originally from upstate New York. I've never been up there. Honestly, I've never been to Florida either. I really hadn't done a whole lot of traveling. But I'm here in Virginia. But yeah, Jennifer, hopefully you've been doing good out there, and you had a good Easter and everything like that. Everything's been going well. But yeah, getting ready to put in the gardens. We didn't have very good luck with them out, and we got a couple of sheep that they seem to be easier to maintain and working out better. So I would like to get a few more sheep, but right now we just got a couple of them. We still got, a couple Dexter cows, and I like them pretty good. Yeah, that's good. But I like the Dexter cows, but I think I'm going to have to get rid of my bull. I don't think he's producing. We hadn't had a calf off of him yet, and it's been enough time, so probably going to have to trade him out. But as far as the cows, I really like them. They're a good size for a small, acreage, homestead type deal. They're real good mannered. They're not mean and crazy and stuff. And I like them so far. We've wanted to try to milk them too, because I've heard they work good for, dairy and all too. But again, we hadn't had any of them calf out to be able to try that yet. So hopefully soon I can get that bull traded out, and, a little ways down the road, we'll go ahead and, have some babies there here. But, yep. Seems like the world's still crazy out there. I hadn't been able to keep up with a lot of stuff, but there's still a lot going on. Yeah, Jennifer, we used to have a bunch of chickens, and then we just couldn't keep up with them, and got rid of all of them. But we've got some more now. I think we've got 10, something like that. So yeah, they're pretty nice. Yeah, chickens ain't too bad. They're a little bit of work. They're not too bad. That's one thing I like about the cows. Yeah, that's one thing I like about the cows. They're basically no maintenance as long as you got some grass for them to eat and keep some water for them and throw them some hay in the winter. They more or less take care of themselves. So they're my favorite. Moved down in 97, never to return. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. But yeah, Jennifer, it just ain't nothing like a homegrown egg. I'm not a big egg eater myself, but when I do eat them, I like them, fresh like that. It's a totally different taste than it is out of the store, as most everything that comes off the farm is. When we raise the cows, raise the hogs, everything like that. The garden especially, when you go somewhere, you get them out of the store, or you go to a restaurant or something, it's like, I hate, store tomatoes. I can't stand them. It just tastes like rubber. But, you get one out of the garden, put that thing on a fresh hot biscuit, it ain't much better than that right there. And, once you eat that fresh stuff, it really ruins you. Yep. But yeah. Yeah, Jennifer, it's definitely a difference. We had been buying meat from a guy like that raises them and slaughters them and sells it and stuff for quite a while now. A couple months ago, we was able to have one of our Dexters that we could take and have slaughtered, but we had gotten so used to eating that farm fresh meat. One time my wife went and got, because everything is, frozen, and she just grabbed a pack of hamburger at the grocery store because we was going to, I think, make spaghetti or whatever and put it in there. And, I mean, when you open the pack, it just, stunk. And, she cooked it and put it in the spaghetti and all, but I just couldn't even eat it. I just pushed the plate away. You got so used to, the fresh meat like that, and I mean, it's totally different. It tastes different. It smells different, and ours has very little grease in it most of the time. When you cook the pan of hamburger, to make tacos or put in spaghetti or whatever you're gonna do with it, you don't even have to dump the pan. It's no grease in it. Yeah, that's right, Jennifer. But yep, it like I said, it's just totally different, and it makes you feel better knowing where it came from, and what it was raised up on too. You are what you eat. That's right. Yep. Yeah, I can't wait. It gets a little bit warmer here, and break out the old smoker again. When you cook on that, it really, really adds a whole lot of flavor to it. I like using the hickory wood with it. It really puts a good flavor in whatever you cook like that. Yep. Hopefully, summer gets here and can start enjoying more. Last summer, I got really into fishing. I got a kayak and did a whole lot of fishing and stuff. And, I'm not a big fish fan as far as eating them either, but it's the same thing, when you catch them in the wild like that, and it just tastes a whole lot better. Especially, we really like the bluegill, and crappie's okay, but the bluegill was the best, I thought. And then, yeah, Jade, I like fishing better than hunting because usually when you go fishing, the weather's a lot better than when you go hunting. But anyway, cool thing about fishing, you can go do that and bring the kids and everything like that, and being out in the fresh air and warm breeze. And one thing I like about fishing, you can, like anything else, you can get as expensive as you want to, but you can really be pretty cheap and simple about it. Once you get a decent rod and reel and some tackle and stuff, and able to take care of it, other than putting some new line on every now and then. After you make that first investment, it really doesn't cost you a whole lot to go fishing. Oh yeah, Jennifer, you'll get it. You'll get it. Southside, what's your favorite game? You talking about video games, or like board games, or what are we talking about? But yeah, a lot of times during the summer we're able to go down to the lake and be able to catfish and stuff. And I really like catfishing because it's simple. You throw some bait on there and just sit back and wait. We're talking about meat. I really don't know, to be honest with you. Deer has always been a big one. Always grew up, deer hunting and stuff like that. But I like rabbit and stuff too. Squirrels pretty good. But another thing, like I was talking about earlier, I'm not a big fan of like store-bought turkey either. But wild turkey, I really like wild turkey. It really has a better flavor. But a lot of times with hunting, I know people that kill deer and turkey and everything like that, and then they'll like soak it in vinegar water to take the game taste out of it. But I like the wild taste on it. I don't do that. I like it just natural. Have you been playing any games lately? No, I really hadn't played, anything in a couple years now. Back when I was a teenager, I really liked the NASCAR games and stuff like that. And I was always a fan of the Western style games like, Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that. But I used to play a little bit of the Red Dead Redemption 2, but I everything got so busy and all, which that was before I got to working so much, but just normal life with the kids and everything just got so busy. I kind of just threw it to the side, and hadn't been able to really pick up anything since then. again, back when I was a teenager, Call of Duty and, all your buddies and stuff playing, that was a big thing. That was probably one of my favorite games was, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 back there then. Born Gator. I had a buddy of mine that, told me that Gator was really good. I've never eaten any wild boar like that, just the, hogs we raise here and stuff, but I imagine they'd be pretty tasty too. But yeah, I had a buddy tell me there's a place around here called Big Licks, and he said that they had gator bites and they were real good, but I ain't never tried none yet. Yeah, bison meat's good. Um, there's actually a guy and his son around here that raises them, and you can buy the meat from them and everything. And one of the tracks of wood we cut was actually over there at their farm where they raise them at. So we got to see them and all, and they're pretty big beasts there. You got to have definitely a good fence system to hold them things in, and hope they don't get out. um, from what they said, that they don't ever really get tame, like cows do. Cows get pretty tame where you can, they get used to seeing you and you can go out there and not really have to worry about them and, handle them and stuff like that. Where he said the bison never do. They're always just, a wild animal. And I know a couple of years ago he had one of them escape and, kind of running through the neighborhood, but they ended up just having to shoot it and put it down because it just won't no way to wrangle it. That's a pretty big boy to try to throw a rope on. Yep, but bison's good. I have had that. I've had a little bit of bear. Bear's pretty good too. I really hadn't seen anything that I don't like. We had somebody give us some lamb burger one time, and I didn't like that. But that was, from, I don't remember where it came from, but it was some kind of like grocery store deal. So it wasn't home processed or anything, and it just didn't, I didn't like the smell of it, didn't like the taste of it, and not saying I don't like, wouldn't like lamb burger, but I didn't like it out of the store. Trying it fresh might be better. Oh yeah, South Dakota. You must do a whole lot of traveling out there. But yeah, I bet they were good. That's one good thing here on the hogs we raise and stuff. Um, a lot of times during the winter, when we slaughter them here at the house, we'll take and cut the ribs out and go on throw that on the smoker while we processing everything else out, and then a couple hours down the road, then you got a meal ready to eat. That's a bird as fresh as it gets right there. Cut it off and wash it off and throw it on the smoker. Yep. So how about you, South Florida? What would be your favorite game? Deer. Yep. Deer is always a pretty good one. All of the deer is good, but the best of it is just those back straps right there, the tenderloin. It's always my favorite. Usually when we get a deer, the same thing. We'll just go ahead and cut that out and throw it in a pan while you're, processing the rest of the deer, and go on and eat that, fresh. Yep. But anyway, being out in the country, probably a lot of people that, wouldn't really want to go for that, but that's how we do it out here. But anyway, I appreciate everybody being on here, and probably going to go on and wrap it up here for tonight. I got to go to work in the morning, and oh yeah, that's right, the back straps, that's the best. But anyway, probably going to go ahead and shut it down tonight, and hopefully tomorrow evening a little bit earlier I'll be able to be on here and live stream again, and maybe I'll even be able to come up with a topic to talk about. Right now I don't really have a lot to talk about, just kind of getting back on here and I guess showing everybody I'm still alive. I've been hiding under a rock for the last year or so, but anyway, good to see everybody. Appreciate everybody coming on here, and you have a good night too, Jade. And like I said, I'm gonna try to hop on tomorrow, or if not, at least another day this week sometime. But just seeing how everything goes. But appreciate everybody stopping in, and hope everybody has a good night. And we'll see you next time.